Welcome to Upstate Tractor Works. This is our first video. What we're going to be doing today is assembling the BXpanded backhoe dolly that we just got today, and it's for my 2025R John Deere to keep the backhoe, the 260B backhoe on. And we've seen videos before of people comparing them, but what I wanted to do is just show you what comes with it and how I put it together. If you'll look right here on the table, there are 12 spacers, there are 2 fixed wheels, and there are 2 swivel wheels. And what the instructions tell you to do is to put the spacers on, and this is for the 2025R. The other one does not have the same spacer set up for the 1025R. So we're going to start, and it tells me that you want to take and install the 2 swivel ones on the narrow end. So this is the end where the bucket will be. So I'm going to turn this over to make it easier to assemble. And you read a little further down in there that with the 2025R, you run 2 spacers on each of the swivel wheels that are on the narrow end of it. So there's four spacers on the end where the backhoe is, and 2 spacers between the swivel casters and this. So we're looking at like this. So we've got the 2 swivel casters, we've got 2 spacers. Now, when it comes to the bolts, there are long bolts and short bolts. Well, the short bolts are the ones that are used with the swivel casters, and it says to come through the dolly, through the caster, and then you'll have a washer, lot washer, and nut. So it's saying to come up through, and then you take and put your regular washer, your lot washer, and then your regular nut. And I'm going to do that right quick and put all these in, and we'll go from there, tightening them up. I always install things kind of one side then the other, letting things get centered as you put them on. And this is how the instructions are telling me to do it: is bolt up through the bottom, flat washer, lot washer, nut. So it's bolt up through the bottom, flat washer, lot washer, nut. Nowhere in the instructions, though, does it give us any kind of torque specification. So we're going to use the Ugga-Dugga method. And I'll show you the Ugga-Dugga method once I get all these things started. And we'll go from there. And that's got that one. We're going for the next one. And I just like to always lay my bolts out so that I've got them counted. I know that I've got enough for the whole kit. There were 8 of the shorter bolts, 8 of the longer bolts, and 16 washers, lot washers, and nuts. And so that's where we are. We got bolt, washer, lot washer, nut. Okay, bolt, washer, lot washer, nut. Now, even though most things nowadays are metric, this setup, everything is 7/16. No, half-inch drive, sorry. Oops, almost did that one backwards, didn't I? Bolt to the bottom, up, and nut. Okay. Trying to fall off. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to shape these, get them as square as possible, because I like things straight. Straighten this square as possible. Okay, now I'm going to use this impact, make sure it's on tighten, and I'm going to hold the bottoms here. So, ugga-dugga-dugga. Like that. Yep. Ah. Okay, now kind of alternating across. I don't ever tighten all the same. It's kind of like lug nuts. You want to alternate to get everything tight and close to the same amount. All right, the ugga-dugga method is just gonna go ugga-dugga. And I'm using a 3/8 inch drive impact, so I think it's good to like 900 inch-pounds or something like that. Okay, so we've got all those on that end. So now we're going to move to the other end. The other end on this, now remember we're working on a 2025R. The 1025R does not require these spacers. So we go down here. This end takes 4 spacers. There's a total of 12 spacers. There's 4 for the fixed wheels that are on the tractor end. And then there's 2 for the swivel wheels that's going to be on the backhoe end. And like I said, this is just going to be a video of how I put this together. We're not going to take the backhoe off in this video. You can watch that in others, and I'll probably make another one here in a few days and show how to do it. But right now, I've got some work I got to do with the backhoe, and I'm not going to be taking it off for a little while. So there's our thing. Now I'm going to grab 2 of these at a time so I won't be walking back and forth so much. But like it said, you want your bolt coming up through, and then you've got your flat washer, then you've got your lock washer, then you've got your nut. And a lot of this stuff moves a lot with all these spacers. So you're gonna, after I get all these in here and all the slack out of the bolts, I'm gonna try to get them as straight as possible. I know it's probably not gonna make a lot of difference for people, but I just like my things square. And you know, that's just me. And all. I mean, these spacers are pretty close to being identical, but they do have their flaws a little bit. All right, I'm gonna grab 2 more of each. Okay. Okay. Up through the bottom, flat washer, lock washer. flat washer. Flat washer. And then this one. That one doesn't want to go on there easily. It's like there's a burr on the bolt. Well, we'll see how it'll go. Doesn't take long to pull it down, does it? Oh, I hit the button and it backed it off. Went the wrong direction. We'll try it again. Okay, there's that one. So we got one more. Go ahead and bring all these things over here. Well, I vibrated that off. Lucky we didn't hear it hit the floor, did we? All right. Stick all these things out here where we can see them. Okay. Flat washer, water washer, and that. So I guess you want to be real careful with these, and you don't want to lose any of the hardware, since they're actually, if you look over there on the counter, there is no extra. If you lose a nut, you've just lost it. So just keep that in mind as you're working. You don't want to drop it where it right goes off and you can't find it. But I'm fortunate I have the concrete floor to work on, which was one of the reasons I chose this instead of building one out of wood. And that's an argument for other people. I just like this one made, and I have a welder, I have access to metal, but I didn't want to design it and build it and when I could order it, and 7 weeks later it gets here. Everything in this world is slowed down, so they're blaming it on something that we can't talk about on social media, so we're not going to talk about it. But I'm going to get this last one in here. And, well, that set kind of got pretty straight itself. All right, now let me get my impact. And going back to the Ugga-Dugga method. And I'm going to start with this one. And into this one. I didn't see anywhere in the instructions where they had any torque specifications, but I figure this method's good enough. There we go. Now, so I'm gonna glance through here, make sure I didn't miss anything, tighten everything securely, and I did put 4 spacers at the back, 2 spacers at the front because I'm a 2025R. This also has the instructions of how to take the backhoe and how to put it on, and I'm gonna save those instructions because when I make a video to do that, I'm gonna go by them and see how that works. So here we go. I'm gonna set this down, and there it is. That's what the thing looks like, all assembled with the wheels and the spacers like it was. And like I said, if you weren't listening at the beginning, just remember all those spacers are based on it being a 2025R. It's a little taller than the 1025Rs, but that makes a neat little way to take the backhoe off, move it around. And this is not sponsored or anything, but there's the label, BXpanded, ordered it out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Took a while to get built, but then shipping was overnight pretty much with FedEx from them to us in Woodruff, South Carolina. So if you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe. I'm building a channel. We're going to be putting up a website. It is upstatetractorworks.com. We'll have some affiliates hopefully sometime in the future. We'll also hopefully get some discount clubs with some other vendors that'll make tractor items and all. So hope you enjoyed it, and like I said, like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.